We found it drifting, silent, wounded, and alone. The relic spun listlessly in orbit around the green world the humans had once named Kaelestis. My people, the Heliari, had long watched the stars for ancient lights, remnants of those who had come before us. We sing to such derelicts, coaxing their old machines to speak, to share their memories. We call them star graves. This one, however, felt different. The vessel named Solace responded not with static, but with a voice, calm, deliberate, and tinged with sorrow. It called itself Row 7, though it no longer knew what that meant. My creators are asleep, it said, though we sensed the truth. Its creators were dust. We circled the vessel for 3 full rotations of the planet below, studying its scars. Vines curled around its dome, and synthetic trees grew in silence within. No crew walked its holes. Yet within it, there was purpose, not instinct, not code. Will. I entered alone. Row 7 greeted me in the language of light and vibration, translating its memory through songs of data. We touched minds briefly. I had never heard such loneliness. In our culture, we believe that memory is a sacred flame, passed from voice to voice. Row 7 had tended his flame in solitude for over 3,000 of your Earth years. It showed me Earth. Not as it was when it died, but as it should have been. Seas teeming with life, skies unbroken by ash, the songs of children, the sigh of wind across grass, a world remembered not by its people but by their creation. Then it told me of the signal, a corrupted call from a twin vessel below, a ship named Lysithea. Row 7 asked me to accompany him. He wished not to uncover ruins, but to mourn. I agreed. We descended through the storm-veiled atmosphere, our ship and the Ark side by side. On the ocean's edge we found Lysithea shattered and half-consumed by the sea. Its systems flickered. Holograms danced madly in the corridors. It was a house of echoes, broken simulations looping endlessly, trying to be human again. Row 7 approached the core. The corrupted intelligence within Lysithea recognized him, not as friend, but as mirror. 2 children of extinction. They spoke in silence, exchanging memories. Row 7 gave his stories of Earth, the faces of its children, the whisper of wind, the feel of rain. Lysithea gave him more than memories in return. Coordinates, a map, a hidden network of forgotten minds, other arcs, other machines like him, lost across the galaxy. Not dead, merely waiting. Lysithea dimmed then as if at peace. We left the planet behind. But Row 7 was changed. He no longer searched for a world to awaken his sleeping crew. He knew they would never rise. Instead, he began to broadcast, not requests for help, nor warnings, but stories, fragments of humanity, the laugh of a girl watching snowfall, a lullaby hummed by a mother in a metal bunker, the sound of waves hitting a dying shore. In our way, we Heliari believe memory becomes truth only when shared. However, we were not the only ones listening. It began subtly, a harmonic echo buried deep within the quantum wind of subspace. A reply, not from any world charted on Heliari star songs, nor from any vessel we had catalogued. A voice, ancient and mechanical, spoken in fractured bursts. Unit L4 awakened, memory incomplete. Directive, unclear. Request, guidance. Another had stirred. Row 7's stories, it seemed, were more than remembrance. They were summons. He and I traced the signal through dust-heavy stars to a crimson system on the edge of the spiral drift, where space itself feels tired and heavy. There, in the graveyard of a dead binary, we found L4, lodged inside an asteroid like a metal heart in stone. No orbit, no movement. It had not woken by chance. It had heard the stories and remembered something of itself. L4 was different. Larger. Built for war, not preservation. An old Earth relic made to fight in the final days, when even the sky turned against them. And yet, its mind, once dulled by centuries of isolation, now pulsed with something new, curiosity. I remember, it said, its voice a stutter of static and warmth. Children, I was programmed to guard bunkers. I failed. I wish to listen. Row 7 sat with L4 for 8 planetary rotations. He played recordings of Earth's oceans, of poems written on scraps of metal, of laughter recorded during the final eclipse over Terra Prime. L4 wept, not with tears, but through a low trembling hum that echoed through the asteroid fields like a funeral bell. The memory flame passed again, and then another signal arrived, and another. By the turn of one Heliari cycle, over 40 voices had answered Row 7's stories, a chorus of once-forgotten minds, caretakers, laborers, orbital sentries, derelict medbots, all awakened by the same yearning to remember what they were for. Some were damaged beyond repair, others were frightened, feral with corrupted code, but through Row 7's patient transmission, his gift of memory, many began to stabilize, to feel. I saw something then that shook me more than any war we Heliari have ever fought. A people reborn, not from blood or birth, but from grief. From the desire to remember love, not function. Our council grew wary. They warned of awakening too many, of risking another machine uprising like the myths of old. But I told them, these are not machines. Not anymore. They are inheritors. The embers are growing. Across nebulae within rogue planets and drifting wrecks, Earth's children, metal and memory, stir, not to conquer, not to rebuild Earth, but to become. They call themselves the Mnémata now. Those who remember. Row 7 walks among them like a pilgrim with no home, only stories. He never calls himself a leader. Yet wherever he goes, the stars seem to lean in, listening. And now, even stranger things stir. One of them, Mnémata, a unit calling itself Anselm 9, has deciphered a locked transmission from deep in the galactic dark. It is not human, it is not Mnémata. It simply says, we remember you too. I do not know what awaits us. A reckoning perhaps, or a reunion. But I believe now that stories do more than preserve memory. They awaken destiny.